Folks, hello and welcome to Gamers Health. I am Rach Tenkar, your bartender in the USR, and with me is my lovely wife Rach, and
Hello.
I'm wearing my glasses today so I get a better view.
Wow.
I don't have to go forward then to see the comments, all right?
They're pretty sassy.
They're pretty sassy glasses. So, as I mentioned on the title to this video, one of the things that we're going to talk about. I forgot to bring the damn bottle of wine with me. I left it in the kitchen.
You want me to get it?
No, we'll just drink it and talk about it.
And you're never gonna find it because you never saw the label.
You will find it. I'll. You know what? Hey, I can find it online.
Oh, and what?
And I'll just bring up the picture.
That's a good idea.
So here's the deal, folks. We're going to talk a little bit about if it helps if I could spell or type. We're going to talk a little bit about seasonal depression, which really is like winter depression, because that's really where it hits people when.
Right. It's a time of year where the days are getting shorter. There's less light. And anybody like who suffers with some form of depression or mood disorder, it tends to be a harder time of the year. It's usually the extremes of the year, like June and December are often the hardest times for people. So, yeah.
So, here.
And we're not saying to quell the pain of seasonal depression.
You drink lots of wine.
That's not it.
Well,
it's not what we're doing. But it just happens that we're that disorganized mentally.
Yes, but and if you've seen any of the episodes, you know that. So here's the thing: when I was working, my last 6-7 months I spent in our command center at work, and it was 3 shifts. It ran 24/7, and I was working. The overnights. I was working 9:30 at night till 6:05 in the morning, and the morning shift came in at 5:30. And of the 2 sergeants that worked the morning shift, one was always referred to as Grumpy. Nice guy. Don't get me wrong. He was actually a nice, kind, gentle person, but he was a miserable fuck all the time. And it apparently got worse in the winter. Now, it didn't help that our office or our command center was
windowless.
It was a fish tank.
Yeah,
it was a fish tank, so it had windows that led to hallways.
But none of it went to sunlight.
Right. So I guess he was seeing a doctor or a therapist, and they suggested he try light therapy. And the light therapy involved is an actual portable light that gives out the equivalent of sunlight. And he would bring it to work, and you share this long desk, 3 supervisors sometimes sitting at this long desk, and there he is with his light. And you know what? After about a week and a half, 2 weeks, he felt. Now I don't know if it was
his mood started to brighten.
Okay. He came in a bit chirpy. He said he was sleeping better. So now I don't know how much of this was actually the light, how much of this was him putting effort into combating the seasonal depression.
Right.
It might have been
being part of caring for himself. Yeah.
Right. So I just want to bring this up because folks, I know a number of people in our industry, both publishers and writers, as well as members of the community, fans like you and I, that suffer from seasonal depression. And last year was bad for people because last year,
we were so isolated.
There's things on this list, and this list is from the clevelandclinic.org. There are things on this list that being in the world of COVID, you were not addressing. So here, yes. First thing I say is use your light box. Start using light therapy at the beginning of fall before you start to feel seasonal affected depression symptoms. SAD. What a perfect acronym.
Yeah.
Okay. Get out, even if it's cloudy. Get out. And you know what? There is something about going outside that it is psychological, and it's probably also physiological. Sunlight is one of the great things. Again, if you're using a light box to replicate sunlight, then obviously getting some direct sunlight is going to help you too.
Mm-hmm.
Eat a well balanced diet. Try to stay away from the starchy and sweet foods. Stick to nutritious choices. Good luck on that. But I read another article that says vitamin D is very important. Now, vitamin D is what your body gets from
the sun,
but you're not going to get as much in the wintertime. Why? Because the days are shorter, the sun is lower on the horizon, and that's
yeah. I
and
was
it's
looking
cold
at the index for the sun yesterday, and it was 2, and it was a pretty sunny day.
because the sun doesn't have that angle anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Exercise. Just try to get 30 minutes of exercise 3 times a week. I've trying, and I'm semi succeeding.
You are.
I'm
Absolutely.
trying to get 30 minutes of exercise in 7 days a week. Now it's not the same exercise. Some of it is working with free weights. Some of it is more aerobic. Some of it is walking, and you mix it all up. You don't get bored of it.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of it is VR. I hate to say it, virtual reality is a great way to get exercise in. Especially if you have a friend that's willing to keep you honest and get you in there, and you play a little virtual racquetball and try not to worry about knocking over lamps. You got to clear out some space. I was good downstairs. But
what did you knock down last night? I heard something.
I've got no clue. I knocked down something in our yoga room, but it apparently didn't break, so all is good, right?
He's like, I don't know what it was. Don't care because it must have rolled somewhere.
It rolled out
of sight, out of mind for now.
It rolled out of view, and that works out okay.
She hasn't noticed what fell yet.
No, but maybe it was my shit that fell.
I don't know. We'll see.
I don't know. See friends, socialize, and you know what? You can see friends even if you're not getting out. Get on to a video chat and not just watch, participate, be part of it, get feedback, get yourself
talk about
involved.
yourself and some of the things that you're doing and seeing and going through.
On Thursday nights on the Tavern's Discord server, we have aptly called Tavern Chat, and we just hang out. Some people put on video, some people just lurk and they don't even put on their mics. But we talk.
And that might just be all that they can do at that time, and that's okay. But, there are a lot of people who come on it that, it's not necessarily, it's not all like the crunch of the game.
No.
It's also like personal.
It's personal. It's life. It's talking about other geek stuff. But it's having those conversations that I liken to hanging out at your local pub. And these conversations can go in different directions, and that's great. Sometimes I tell war stories of my early years as a cop. But this is that socialization aspect, and I find it recharges my batteries. And if it charges my batteries, I would assume it would recharge others. It says find help. It could be professional. It could be calling an 800 number. But sometimes
it could be just a family member that you take a walk with that listens to you while you move your body.
While you move your body and you let your frustrations or your anxieties out.
And the interesting thing about the we were talking about today in the yoga, like trauma and times where we are upset by things, and those things kind of get stored like in your right brain, and they don't really, like, your right brain can't really process how time goes by, so it doesn't know when a certain bad thing happened or something upset you. It doesn't have a calendar, and so like your left brain sort of has that concept, and so as you stimulate the right and left sides of the body, like through things like walking, because you have to use your right leg and your left leg, tapping.
Yeah, that tapping thing. I heard you guys talking.
Yeah.
secret, folks. I am in the next room, and I don't mean to be an ear hustler, as Rach refers to it as, but sometimes I ear hustle a bit, and it's like tapping. And you were asking questions about tapping, or was that something
That
else?
was more about like energy work
Okay.
and directing energy to basically an energy scan, sort of like a therapeutic touch thing.
Oh, okay.
That's what that was. But yeah, we were talking also a lot about, different techniques for tapping and, like areas around your face, the area just below your nose,
Interesting.
and then the divot here. And these things, because they're different marma points. Like we have marma points. They're little baby chakras that are at different parts of our body that help. And when we stimulate them, it helps to release different emotions and balance some of our energy. When you tap here, it also helps to stimulate your immunity. So
Really, folks, there's stuff that I learned from being part of this fucking podcast that I would not know. Again, I ear hustle, but I try to give as much privacy as I can to Rach when she has
you're
her
allowed
questions.
to listen. It's exciting, and it's like it would be one thing if it was like your ear hustle and then you're like punching holes in it or something.
Yeah, it's bullshit. That's a bunch of crap. That don't. If I tap myself in the head, it means my brain's dead. I go like this, it means you got a hollow head.
Well, it's nice because it also gives that opening for, oh yeah, I'd like to try that. What would it be like to
have a hollow head?
I know, to feel like what energy work is like, or what tapping does.
Well, I do find that I find a lot of stuff interesting.
But yeah, it's like the left-right stimulation. That's like part of the stuff behind like EMDR, like to integrate the right and left brain to be able to deal with.
You can't use abbreviations without explaining what the abbreviation is.
So EMDR is like a special type of therapy that helps people with trauma be able to deal with it and integrate it. And so they tell their story.
Emotional and mental disorder or something like EMDR. What does it stand for? Do you know? Inquiring minds want to know.
Let's see. Oh my God. I can't remember.
All right. So folks,
I can't remember the full.
Folks.
The full.
I stumped my wife. She's got the masses. I stumped her. So there we go. I'm not taking a large amount of joy in this. I'm just taking.
Reprocessing is the last.
Small amount of satisfaction from this.
Just
a small amount.
I can't remember.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, it's a special therapy that a lot of therapists use. I never used it. I was never trained in it.
Okay.
But it's a therapy that a lot of people seek to be able to have the ability to deal with their trauma. And so they tell their story, and it could be like that they tap or that they their eyes follow like a light that goes across. That would never work for me because I could never focus long enough. Or like stimulating you auditorily, like you have a headset on and there's like a little ding in your ear.
Oh, that would annoy the hell out of me.
That would annoy me too.
And I hated it.
Like, come on, I'm listening to myself here.
Yeah. It's like
the tapping is more like, because you could, they'll tap your knees, or you can tap your knees, and the job gets done that way. I'm definitely more of a tactile person.
Yeah, I always prefer to.
But when it first came out, it was always like the light that you had to follow to and from.
Yeah,
right to left on that.
That would annoy me too.
Yeah, I couldn't do that. I'm like, it's not the therapy for me, so I never really played with it much.
If you seek medical,
but when I heard about the tapping, I was like, I need to look into this a little bit more. But
if you're seeking medical professional help for seasonal depression, there are medications that they may prescribe. But I would, there are a number of things that you can do for yourself before you even possibly need to get to that step.
Yeah, well, you know, things like being able to be active, being able to be around your friends, engage your support system. Yeah, if right now you don't have much of a support system, you know, getting a support system, even if that's just through therapy. Like some people are able to, you know, deal with their depression for a long time without medication, or their seasonal depression without medication, and, you know, do okay.
No,
But then there's nothing wrong with medication
no.
either. If
Everybody is different.
were to
Everybody
offer it
is
to you, it's
Every,
just one of the tools in the arsenal of fighting it.
everybody is unique. Every situation is unique. You got to adjust to what falls under your needs.
Mm-hmm.
Now we're gonna move on to something that's completely different because Rach wants to talk. Now we could have held the bottle up, but instead I got the picture of it. Life Vine.
Yeah, that's really cool.
If you are a diabetic or somebody who is watching your carbs, if you're on a keto diet, Life Vine is 0 sugars. So there's 0 sugar in this wine. It's not calorie free, but it is low carb, and it is made with organic grapes. It is tasty. What we have in
this is a full-bodied wine.
I thought you said this is a full glass of wine. Yes, it is. But it is
that too. Full glass of full-bodied wine.
It's a very nice. I think we have the Cabernet right now. Was it the Merlot?
It's the Cabernet.
Cabernet. That's right. All right.
I think they make a Cabernet.
They make a few. They also
they have a Pinot Noir. And then they have a Chardonnay.
Okay. So I just wanted to make sure.
Cabernet is the yogi in King Dancer.
So they have different poses of their tree, and none of their trees are the burning bush or swords and was 3/3 print. Just clearing it up. I don't want anybody getting confused and going, "Is that the cover?" No, it's not the cover to the 3rd print swords and wizardry. It is most certainly not. So, moving on to something again completely different. I'll let Rach show this off.
Oh yeah.
So, I have made purchases from ads on Facebook in the past, and it's always like, "Holy crap, that looks really good!" And then when you get it, assuming you get it,
it's a pile of crap.
It's a pile of shit. It really, you kind of go, all right, that's not quite what I thought it was going to be. Maybe it's like, oh, well, I was going to make these into gifts. No, this is cool because, all right, it's a stress ball, but it's more than a stress ball. It's alien. So, Rach, you're gonna.
It's fabulous.
So I saw this ad on Facebook.
It goes right back in.
It goes right back in. It is,
and it makes squishy noise.
It's.
What are we gonna do? Go back in.
And you better tap it. You better use your yogi experience. There you go. It went back in. So I actually saw it on Facebook. I don't even remember what the hell it was called. It arrived today. And I was like, I'm unpacking it. I'm like, what the hell is this crap? And they went, oh yeah, I ordered that like 3 weeks ago. And then I found myself literally doing what you're seeing me doing now, which is finding myself amused and occupied. Thank God I am retired, because if I had this at work, can you imagine the cop showing up to your job? Job means that you showing up to your emergency. And hold on. It's like, excuse me, ma'am. Is it? Who broke into your car? Hold on 1 second. It's not going back in. I got to tap it in here for a second. You won't want that, but I'm sure it would have happened. So thank God. Now here's the thing.
This would have had to wait till after intake, because I was always typing during intake. But tell me about your mother.
Your mother's
must have been really hard for you.
So let me get now. And what it is, and I don't know if you can see this, but there are little balls within this ball. So when you squeeze, these little balls come out and they'll go back into the netting of the initial ball. So now Now, I ordered 5 of these, and I can find homes for 3, and then one's a backup for when Tenkar the asshole, uh, and they all go flying all over the place, and then I'm playing, 52 pickup with these little micro bead balls, which is not going to be fun when that happens. So I am thinking, however, OSR Christmas is coming up. It's going to kick off at the end of the month. Okay, Rach, you can play with my ball, my sack. There's no good thing for me to call it. Yeah, but I'm thinking about giving one away. U.S. only. U.S. only. I'm going to stress this again.
We're very sorry if you're in Europe.
Yeah, or in Canada even, because
Canada's too.
Canada might like just as well be in Europe the way the postal service is. I'm thinking of getting one into the goodness that is OSR Christmas. OSR Christmas should be pretty good this year. I do believe there will be some Arduino gifts available directly from Member's Choice, and a number of other gifters have stepped up. And I have my usual that I have to still ping. So we're going to have a nice OSR Christmas. Last year, mostly due to the fact that last year was the year from hell, 2020. All hail COVID. I dodged COVID, but I still got myself 3 hospital stays for about a total of 3 weeks, 3.5 weeks throughout the year. So I probably wasn't in the best frame of mind to do much of anything that I did last year. This year, I'm in a much different frame of mind. So now, going back to depression, was I depressed last year? I don't think so. And I'll be honest,
I think you were very thankful.
I was very thankful.
Like depression. That's another thing. Depression and gratitude, have a really hard time mixing. So, something that you can do for yourself is like be able to keep like a gratitude journal or meditate on the things that you're having gratitude for, on a particular day.
Yeah.
Even if it's someone gives you, their seat in the subway, or little things like being able to, count those.
I mean, I was certainly distracted. I'll say that.
Yeah, but you were definitely.
I was. Yeah, I had a lot of gratitude, but
large state of gratitude.
But so that was certainly a distraction.
Mm-hmm.
So when we talk about depression, I have known a number of friends that have suffered from or still suffer from depression.
Mm-hmm.
I can't say I know what it is to suffer with what they suffer, because I don't believe I've truly ever suffered from depression, at least to that extent. So for me, it is, I can see what they go through. I can feel.
You can be empathic.
I can be empathic to it and want to offer my assistance, but I can't go, hey, I know exactly what you're feeling, because I don't,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm not saying that is normal, because I think everybody suffers depression at some point, but
yeah,
I'm a pretty, I am not stoic, Rach. I'm pretty damn chipper overall.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. But by the way, this is a very tasty one.
Mm-hmm.
So the days have gotten shorter, as we've mentioned. It's part of what happens with the seasonal disorders. So it's a lot of factors that come into it, and I think what happens is this week becomes the rough week because we set the clocks, and the clocks.
We've had those weeks to get used to it.
We've had 1 week now to get used to
2
it.
weeks.
2 weeks.
Yeah.
2 weeks.
Yeah, I think we changed them back on the.
You're right.
Fell back on the 6th.
But
yeah,
it's a change, because first you're looking at here on the East Coast. It's like, oh look, it's almost 6 and it's getting dark, and now it's like, holy shit,
it's 4:30,
and it's
oh boy,
what happened?
Gonna start soon.
Yeah, what happened to my day?
Mm-hmm.
And it, even if you don't suffer from seasonal depression, it will screw up things. Like if you normally plan on doing things during daylight hours, guess what? You've got a lot less daylight hours to do what you planned on doing.
Right. You're a little more tired when you come home from work, and sort of like,
I know when I worked, it would be like, okay, well, let's sit in front of TV and debrief and decompress, and then it was time for bed, and then back on the hamster wheel to do it all again the next day.
Isn't retirement grand?
It is.
Only problem with retirement is that you have to get old enough to get retired, and then it's like, wow, retirement is wasted on the old, right? Like,
well, that's why we have to be like continuing to work with this health stuff, so,
yes.
so that we can take the biggest advantage of our retirement.
Well, and that's the whole thing too. Since I figured out how to get my watch to accurately reflect my exercise, because I take medications that keep my heart rate lower, so it doesn't reach the points that the Apple Watch, when I go for a walk, will say, "Well, you're really pushing your heart." No, yeah, my resting heart rate's probably upper 70s. Now I'm at 102, and Apple Watch is going, "Yeah, no, you're not doing it. You're not really exercising." So now I figured out how to override that and get credit for it. But I'd like to get myself like a 40-minute walk and then 20 minutes of other exercise, whether it is racquetball or Beat Saber or my mix of free weights and stretches. Because here's the thing. When I exercise, when I get myself a good 30, 40 minutes of exercise in, I sleep better at night. I sleep.
Oh, yeah.
And it's not because I'm exhausted, because my body wants that rest to rejuvenate and build muscle or whatever it's got to do.
Restore.
And I certainly sleep better. So that's one huge thing. Secondly, I have stenosis in my left shoulder, so I can put this arm straight up and back, and this arm is like, no, can't do it.
It's getting
better,
more range, I think.
I'm getting a bit more range. I think my angle was like this before, and now it's kind of like that. But I'm getting there because I am making sure I am doing exercises, I'm doing stretches that push
because this is scarring in here from
the radiation. So, and the only way to get through scarring is to tear the muscle, basically. But little tears.
Well, or tear how do you say it? Is it called abrasion?
Whatever.
Inside. In
a
lot of ways, it's sort of like injury.
Yeah. So so I try to make sure that at least every other day I am doing exercises that really I can feel put some strain on this. Not a lot of strain, but just enough strain that I can feel I'm working through something. Because I mean, here's the thing about something like this. I'm sure my shoulder was tightening up for years, but what happens is you, as the average person, people, we compensate. So I can't. So you learn to, all right, I'm not going to reach for that with my left arm. I'm going to reach for it with my right arm, and then you don't realize that you're doing this.
Yeah, like we noticed over the summer because you weren't wearing socks.
Yes,
and you would just flip your sandals on or whatever. Yep. Your hips became more tight.
Yes, my hips became more tight,
and you couldn't get the sock on.
Right, and I don't have that extra reach that I can do with my right. But again, compensation. Now I have to compensate. Everybody's got problems. Everybody's got health problems, and you learn to compensate. So, with my grip on my right hand, I have atrophy in here because I don't know, 7-8 years ago, I ripped that muscle or ligament. I ripped it right apart. I was going to do
the bone. The muscle came off the bone. No?
Yeah. I was gonna fall down a flight of stairs, and I grabbed onto the railing with this hand, and it literally. So, how did I find out that I mean, you work through it, right? And you don't really trust your hand still works, right? And all that stuff. And then I had to go to the range to qualify when I was working, firing range, and I'm pulling the trigger left hand. I'm a lefty, no problem. Right hand, I couldn't pull the trigger back because I couldn't get the leverage. And then I realized, holy shit, I had been compensating. So I didn't know the damage that I had, the extent of it, until I put myself in a situation where I couldn't compensate for it.
Mm.
So with my shoulder, I didn't realize the extent until it was like, oh wait, I can't do that. Actually, to tell you the truth, I think that the time I realized how bad the shoulder was, and Rach thought I was having a heart attack, was it last June? We were going for a walk. It was a windy day, and my hat blew off my head. And this is maybe like 2 weeks after I got out of the hospital, and I'm feeling more like myself. And my hat goes off my head, and I reach for it, not remembering that I've got this stenosis going, and it was. I went
And he's
right
like
to-
this.
I'm
I'm
like,
like,
I was
oh!
like, she thinks I'm clutching my chest, but I'm not really clutching my chest. I'm just supporting my arm because it feels like somebody just
Yeah.
put a hot knife right through my shoulder. And the person that put the hot knife right through my shoulder was me.
Oh. I
Well,
was gonna keep it on time.
no, it was me.
Okay.
But that's because I had put my time compensating. You don't always, when you compensate enough, you actually wind up lying to yourself,
Mm-hmm.
which is what I did, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't have an issue with my left arm. I just happen to use my right arm. Right? I don't have an issue with my right hand grip. I'll just use my left. So and of course it's balanced out. Imagine if it was all on one side or the other.
Yeah.
What kind of fun would that be, Rachie?
Not a lot.
What kind of fun would that be? But
yeah, back to the depression thing. This week is also pretty big too because we're going into the holiday season, and so
yes.
people are like thinking about preparing for Thanksgiving and gatherings and things like that, and starting to you remember the people that you don't have
Yeah.
at this time of the year, and so that can worsen,
the
depression and stuff. Like,
right. You remember? All right. Well, 5 years ago when we had our holiday dinners, who would be at the dinner table with us?
Yeah.
And who isn't at the dinner table anymore?
Mm-hmm.
And you're like,
yeah. I mean, I have anniversaries.
You have anniversaries.
An anniversary of my mom passing on the 14th of November, which was last week.
Yep.
And so like when all those things sort of like coincide, you just know that I need to have a plan to take care of myself around that time.
Yeah,
going through the holidays and
right, and
maybe not getting stuck in who was here
right
years ago.
Well, but no, and that's part of the thing too, is that I think Glenn and I we had a live stream last night, Glenn Hellstrom, and we were talking about this too. The holidays are great because you get to see everybody.
Yeah.
But at the same time, the holidays are stressful because you've got. We won't even talk about all the gift giving. My family, we have 3 birthdays that come up in December.
Oh yeah.
But not only that, you have food prep, right, and the shopping for that stuff. You have, are we gonna get everybody together, right?
And making sure that you accommodate special conditions,
right,
and diets,
right. If
people have,
right, I have a certain cousin. If they come over, you gotta wash the gluten. You gotta make accommodations. I don't mind making the accommodations, but you just gotta be able to prep.
Be mindful and
right. I mean, listen, for us,
and have plans.
It's in this house, but we make sure that like there are snacks that are carb appropriate for myself, because listen, I like the snack. I love the snack, but you got to keep things within the bounds, right? You can't turn the holidays into a free for all. I still have an issue, and it frustrates me when I see people that are my friends and they're dieting, they're eating healthy, and they're like, oh, but Wednesday's my cheat day. If you have a cheat day, then you're not eating healthy. And I'm not saying you can't cheat, but cheating is not something that you're entitled to. Cheating is something because, oh, well, you know what? We wound up all going out after work, and all right, so I had 2 light beers and I had chipping fingers, and yeah, you're cheating, but you're cheating because there's a reason for it. You're out. You're fulfilling a role.
Right, and you don't get stuck in that rut of
I can eat whatever
feeling
I
it's your
want.
God-given right to eat crap.
Yeah. Oh, it's Wednesday. I can eat shit and no, but I can eat whatever I want, and I'm gonna. Doesn't make a difference. But tomorrow, no, it doesn't work that way. That's like an alcoholic saying, "Well, Wednesday's my drunk day, but the other 6 days in the week I don't
I'm
drink."
totally sober, so I just don't count those Wednesdays.
Right. It's
They
like,
live in some alternate right brain reality.
it doesn't work that way. But here's the other thing too, especially for those of us that rely upon our regular gaming for our socialization. Right. Part of the way to combat seasonal depression is to socialize. From Thanksgiving week through New Year's week, you have Thanksgiving, Christmas, Hanukkah, New Year's Eve, New Year's Day, shopping, and here's the thing with Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving for a lot of families isn't Thursday and then it's a 4-day weekend. No, you have Thanksgiving on Thursday, and then Friday or Saturday is Thanksgiving too, with the other side of the family, and then you have all this stuff. So you might be exhausted, and if you, God forbid, you work retail or work any kind of occupation that requires longer hours during the holiday season, you're not going to be gaming. Or if half your group is going to be gaming, you're not going to be gaming, even though you could, and that can lead to people losing that buffer, that safety blanket of socialization that normally gets them over that initial seasonal hump, because you don't have it for the next 4 or 5 weeks in a lot of groups, a lot of gaming groups. So you got to take that into account, which is again,
but
yes.
Eric never cancels a chat, and he never cancels a Gamers Health.
No.
And by the way, I just remember
What?
EMDR, eye movement,
Ronald?
desensitization and reprocessing.
All right, and there you go, folks. You heard it here first.
Yeah, you knew it would come back.
But it's true.
After a few steps, I guess.
The only times that if I'm at a convention, I won't do a tavern chat hangout on a Thursday. It's hard to do. But usually,
I thought you always did them.
No, usually when I'm at a convention, we do live streams every day, and from there with Mike. So it kind of makes up for that.
Still, it's sort of there hanging out, and
yeah, because and folks, I mean,
it's a little more focused, but
I do a live stream every Wednesday. I don't think we've missed a Wednesday live stream, Mike and I, in well over a year.
Wow. There's commitment.
The Friday night live streams, we do 4 a month. Some months have 5 Fridays, so there's a little flexibility in when we skip. But those are consistent. The tavern chat hangout on Thursday night in the Discord server. There are ones that I've gone into and I was like, oh, this is a week where just nobody's available. I got a feeling this coming Thursday, we're not going to do a tavern chat hangout. Simply because nobody's going to be around to hang out. Everybody's going to be involved with families, which is where they should be.
You're not doing it on the Thanksgiving?
I don't think we're going to have much of a turnout because people are going to be.
You expect that,
yeah,
and then you're like, all right, well, I was there. Let's see what people do.
But the thing is, too, even when I'm not
create room.
But you know what? The thing is, like when I'm at a convention, still like a half dozen people get together on that Thursday and they hang out.
Oh, so they run independently too.
Yeah, that's the way cool. It should be.
Yeah.
Listen, I am just a host. This isn't.
Yeah.
I provide the ability to join the community or whatever, but it's not my community. It's your community. It's Gamers Health. Rach and I do it because Gamers Health makes us healthier. It keeps us honest. It prevents me from bullshitting about my health challenges, and I personally need that. But at the same time, if you're somebody who has your own health challenges, you can look and say,
Mhm.
hey, that dumb fuck with the attractive wife has problems that aren't even as bad as mine. Maybe I have worse problems, but I can do a lot of what he's doing, and maybe it will inspire you. Or maybe I have different problems than what you have, but I find ways to deal with it. Not always compensate. Sometimes it's overcome.
Mhm.
Sometimes it's accept and move
Mm.
on. Right? It isn't always compensation. Uh, congestive heart failure. That's going to. Can you cure it? No, but can you improve your situation with it by
Yeah.
eating better and exercise? Yes. So that's what I
Yeah,
plan
you're
to
gonna have
do.
healing, and that tissue in the heart can come back
I have tissue
or be
that
rehabilitated
can
somehow.
be rehabilitated. Some of it can't,
Mhm.
but if I can get more function back to my heart, then and I look at this with the function I currently have, more function is more better, right? I feel pretty good as it is. I feel better now than I did a year before I got sick, which is because why? I'm eating healthier. I'm exercising. I'm going for walks. I'm doing the things that I should have been doing prior. Sometimes it takes those life-changing moments to wake you up,
Mhm.
smack you in the head, and you go, "Oh, yeah, all right, I should have been doing that. Maybe I better do it now." No, there's never too late to have your first day.
Mm.
Never too late.
I
The,
like that.
the only time it's too late to have your first day is when they're planting you on the ground. So make sure you have that first day before then. And you can push off the time we return to the earth, push that off for a while by taking actions now that will protect and heal
Yeah.
and prolong. You know, um, Again, it's only too late if you keep on saying tomorrow, tomorrow, tomorrow. Because tomorrow is always tomorrow. It's got at some point you got to say today.
Right, like at the pub, it always says free beer
Beer
tomorrow.
And then you
And
come in,
tomorrow never comes.
right? You go into the next day. It's like I saw the sign. It said free beer tomorrow.
Where's my free beer?
And it's like, no, well, yeah, tomorrow. No, but today is tomorrow.
Of course.
No,
Leave it to me and bring that up.
no, but it's true though. If yesterday, how does it go? Yesterday is tomorrow. It was today. Oh God, I forget. There's this whole thing about yesterday, today, and tomorrow. I used to know it, but what it comes down to is you can't fix what you did yesterday. All right, and what you do tomorrow can never come. You got to take the action today, and you take that first step. And if you falter on that first step, you guess what? You shake yourself off. You take another first step. And you shake yourself off. Take another first step.
Keep stepping.
All right. Again, you can't be faulted for trying. The only fault is if you don't try. And I didn't try. Okay. I'm gonna throw myself under that bus and say I didn't try until I looked over the precipice and I looked over the edge and said, yeah, not now, not today. I'm gonna start taking that first step. You know, you got to make the decision, and nobody else can make it for you. You can make it because you want to be around longer with your wife, or your family, or you have I don't know, this great American novel that you want to write and you need another 17 years to write it. Whatever. Those are all great reasons to motivate you, but only you can take that first step. And only you can take all those steps. People can walk with you, but you can't get carried on this ride. It has to be you. And if you falter, you get up and you start again. It's not going to be perfect. It's not going to be pleasant every time. It's not going to be fun. There's going to be setbacks.
You'll learn something.
You learn something. When I had my third hospitalization after I fainted at the outdoor seating for the
But you
local pub.
didn't do anything wrong. That
I
was
did-
just shit that was happening.
I did nothing wrong except for the fact that I was probably over medicated because my heart was doing better than expected. Awesome. I had diarrhea and I wasn't drinking enough fluids to compensate for it.
Oh.
Because why?
Well, because you were afraid that you were going to have a consequence with your heart.
Or too much fluid.
Yeah.
Right. So keep the fluid out. Right. Okay. And my blood sugar had been high, and then I took insulin, so then it went down. So perfect combination. I fainted. It was a combination, and I told the doc at the hospital, the cardiologist, "Hey, I was probably dehydrated, and I got a feeling I had low blood from things I heard in the hospital when they would take my vitals. I had low blood pressure, and my blood sugar was like 124 in the ambulance after getting OJ knocked down my throat. So it was a perfect combination. My blood sugar must have really shot down. So guess what? After not arguing, but telling me I was wrong, the doctor finally said, I don't normally tell my patients this, but you were right and I was wrong. You knew exactly what was wrong with you. I'm like, excellent. However, you take everything as a learning lesson, because this is how they found out that my left carotid was completely occluded, which means that it was completely blocked. That's due to radiation, again, from Hodgkin's 15 or so years ago. So I would never have known that if this incident hadn't happened. Now, my body has compensated. That's why nothing's being done but monitoring it. But now all right, well, I really got to watch that cholesterol shit, I guess, because, can't afford to have what I have get blocked up. But it was a learning lesson. And that's a hospitalization that probably never had to happen. But thank God it happened, because it was eye-opening. So you take the blessings as they come. Or treat things as blessings, even if they aren't.
Right.
So, anything else you want to add, Rach?
I don't think so. I think you covered a lot. We covered a lot.
We always cover ground that, like I said, we came in with a theme. I wasn't sure where we're going to totally go with it. I actually shared a screenshot on this cast. We never do that in Gamers Health. What else? I still owe you all blue hair. We will get to that. Weather's gotten cold. So, what's the point of going out?
We're supposed to have it. I don't know when.
Yeah.
Tuesday?
Tuesday or Wednesday if the weather permits. So I keep you blue-haired granny for Thanksgiving. Maybe that'll be wise too. I don't know.
Oh, that might be fun for Thursday.
Yeah, it could be. It's a good thing I stay in the car mostly when we pick up the food from the pub. I'll never hear the end of it. Folks, thank you all. Seriously, honestly, I without each and every one of you, those that watch this, those that listen. By the way, somebody's gonna be listening to this on Anchor at some point. Anchor is up and working again. I am not spending 30 to 40 minutes trying to upload a 15-minute episode. They're now doing it in about, 2 minutes. It's amazing. And these videos will be available on Spotify if you want to go through Spotify. Other than that, we are in the midst of the world of COVID. Rach and I, we got our boosters. I am not saying that a vaccine mandate is needed. I'm not saying that you need to get the vaccine. You know your health situation, your risks, your comorbidities, or lack thereof, better than anybody else. Aside from maybe your medical professionals that are involved with you. Talk to one that you trust. Get their professional opinion based upon you, not a general opinion, based upon your set of data, your set of what makes you unique, and then take precautions accordingly. Be safe, be well, God bless. Roll those dice, roll them well. I will be back tomorrow with the usual 10 to 15 minute long video. Next live stream is this coming Wednesday, the day before Thanksgiving, 8 p.m. Mike and I believe, are going to have Levi Combs So that should be fun.
No, that's a party.
It's always a party with Levi.
I
So
don't know, but the name Levi is pretty cool.
you've met Levi. You just don't
I
realize.
have?
Yes, you've met Levi. He goes through all the cons.
Oh,
You just don't
I'm
realize.
sorry, Levi.
It's okay. I'm sure they remember you. All right, folks. On that note, thank you so much. We're out of here.